Hi guys, I just wanted to pop on here real quick before I show you your piles. I just finished doing your readings and it was very intense. Most of them were very, very specific. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is really think hard about which pile is right for you. If you are not feeling attached to any of them, please, this maybe is not for you. Okay, they were very intense. They were very specific. They were beautiful messages. Just amazing. I've never, ever had a reading like this before. I've never done one like this before. It is very specific. I've never done multiple past lives just like this. And it was incredible. But you have to really be synced into this reading for it to resonate for you. If it doesn't, please leave it behind. It wasn't meant for you. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, okay? So here it comes. Here comes your piles. Bye, guys. Hello. Welcome to Blind Pomegranate Tarot. How are you today? If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you came. Today we are talking about past lives. And this is a follow-up to our Coffee Talk Tuesday, where we were discussing how knowing your past lives can help benefit you in this life. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link down below so you can go and check that out. So what we're going to be asking for is for the universe, your higher self, your spirit guides, whoever needs to come through, to tell us which life, it can be any life you've lived, is the one that you should delve deep into to best benefit you in this life and help you to better understand yourself in this life. In doing so, you grow your soul, you grow your spirit, and in turn, you grow the universe. So that's where we're going with this. I'm really looking forward to this. It was a very interesting shuffle. Now, if you'd like to see the shuffle, it's in the timestamps down below. There's timestamps for each one of the groups, and then I also record my shuffle. But what I ask is that you wait to watch the shuffle until the end, because sometimes the cards will flip and some of these piles are a little unique, but I don't want it to influence you. So please pick your pile first and then go watch the shuffle. Also down below, I've got some information on some helpful links for meditations, some that I use, and just some general information that might help you in your journey. So we have 5 piles today because I am trying to get as many different people information as I possibly can. Now, always remember, this is for the collective, okay? So not everything is going to resonate for you. And if it doesn't, please leave it behind. Do not try and make it fit. But there should be something in here for everybody. That's what we're going for. That's our goal. So let me start here at the top. Pile 1 is a celestite. Really pretty stone. Can you see the rock in the back? It's also known as a thunder egg. Really beautiful. That's pile 1. Pile 2, let's come from this direction, is a very slippery garnet. Lots of veining in it. That's really pretty. Pile 3, and I'll be honest, I won't pick it up because I had to tape it down a little because he just would not hold still, is a lapis lazuli. It's a great big sphere. I love it because it reminds me, it looks like the world with clouds going around it. I love it. It's got a beautiful energy. I use it quite a bit. Pile 4 is a black tourmaline, and it's a great big tower that I just recently got from a very lovely friend. Okay, and pile 5 is a labradorite tower. It's got lots of really beautiful shift in it. There you go. Can you see that? Oh, I love labradorite. It's one of my favorite stones on earth. That's got a really beautiful energy to it too. So we've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, and pile 5. Your timestamps will be down below, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye, guys. Hello, group 1. So you chose the selenite, or the thunder egg. I love this. I love it when it comes together like this. Okay, so let me explain. If you're new here, I am legally blind. And so I have a lot of friends who are legally blind or blind. And so in order to include everyone, those who can see and those who can only hear, I lay out the cards and then I run through them and describe them fully for everyone. So that's why we're already here with our cards laid out. But I will explain. I got some very strong messages as I was doing it. So this is very, very interesting. Again, remember, if you chose this pile and it doesn't resonate for you, that's perfectly okay. You can search out another one, or maybe this is just not for you. But never, never try and make it fit, okay? All right, so let's start. Let's start at the top. Now, I chose cards for location, right? This is a sacred location deck. And you got Taos, which is in New Mexico in the United States. And then you got here to the right, which is, oh, my little pomegranate decided he's going to go for a walk. There we go. And then the next card we received is the Queen of Keys. This is interesting, but I'll come back to this one, okay? And I'll tell you exactly what I was hearing. Now, before I did your drawing, I did a download meditation, and I tried pulling from the Akashic records, my guides, your guides in the universe. So I'm hoping I got some very clear downloads. It seems as if I have. This is a very, very interesting pile. And the next card that you got is the Spirit Whisperer. Very interesting. I love it. I just absolutely am always amazed as these come together. Just never ceases to shock me. And then you got the Artist card. So that's very interesting. And then finally, in the Past Lives deck, you got, you see that? The Authority figure. Okay, I find this just amazing. And let me tell you what I was hearing and what I've seen. So Taos, New Mexico is a very spiritual place. It is very important to the Native Americans, for those of you who are not American. It's a beautiful deseritic land with amazing colors. Let me show you this up close and personal. It's absolutely beautiful. So there's lots of cactus. It's in the southwest of the United States, just north of Mexico, and it's a beautiful place, really beautiful. If you get a chance, you should absolutely go see it. So it's very important land to the Native Americans, and it's not any coincidence that the stone you chose was the thunder egg, and it was a name given to these. What they'll find is these rocks, right, that are perfectly round. They'll break them open, and inside will be crystals, just as you see here with the celestite, excuse me. And the Native Americans gave it the name thunder egg because they believed that they were created by the lightning striking the earth and created these thunder eggs with the beautiful crystals inside of them. I love that name, and I love that idea of that. I think it's beautiful. So you see where we're going, right? So when I meditated on this card, the Queen of Keys, what I was seeing and what I was hearing was she plays the keys. She plays the keys. So what I'm feeling from this is it's a musical instrument. Okay, so you may have been Native American, you may have been Latino, you may have been, but I think that you're a very, let me continue, that you played a musical instrument because, well, I'll move on and then I'll tell you the whole picture I'm seeing. The Spirit Whisperer, that is very Native American. What I was hearing was she whispers to the wind. She hears the sounds of the wind, The voices in the wind. Yes, yes. She played a musical instrument. Yes. And that's why the keys. I'm sorry. You can give me just a second, guys, because I'm hearing stuff. So I feel that she was she was important in that in rituals, she would be the person who would not only play music, an artist in her own right, but that she would hear the responses. She would hear the responses in the wind. She would hear the responses in the wind when she played the keys. I don't know what kind of instrument this is, but that it was an important position, very important to tradition. And that the spirits spoke back to her in the wind. The spirit spoke back to her in the wind when she played the keys. I don't know what this is, you guys. You'll have to let me know. I may actually look this up when we're done here. She held a prominent position within her community because she could talk to the wind. She could talk to the spirits in the wind through the music, through them playing the keys. I wonder what that is. I'm not seeing what that instrument is. Let's see if we can get a date, please. A time. No. Late 1800s is what I just heard. The player of the keys. If you chose this pile, this is very specific. I'm sorry, you guys, but it's very specific. This is what I'm hearing, though, and I have to tell you what I'm hearing. When I did my download, I was shown very clearly my throat chakra was actually up in my mouth, which I took as a very clear indication that I was going to be able to speak exactly what I was hearing. And what I'm hearing is, this is a person who is, okay, yes, I can hear it now. Wow, okay. I got the chills all over. This is a person, this is a very important woman within her community. When she played, she was an artist, when she played the music, she heard a response back in the wind from spirit. She was very prominent and an artist. I guess you would have to be if you were able to do that. Oh, I'm going to have to look this up. I wonder if this resonates with anyone. I hope it does. I can feel it so strongly that that is the truth. That is what this reading is. There's no coincidence that you received, that this came, these spirits really close. So I know I'm on the right track. It's no coincidence that the thunder egg is the one that you chose for this pile. It's no coincidence, you guys. This is, for someone, it's very specific. Okay, it's very specific. I understand. I know we were trying to reach as many people as we can. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's only for one person. This may resonate with someone who is for a very, very specific person. She was an important woman who could speak to the wind through her music, through playing of the keys. Playing of the keys. There must be like a, I don't know. Should I draw another tarot card? Should I draw a tarot card? Okay, I'm going to try and get a little bit more information. Where should I go? Okay. I should draw a tarot card. Yes. Okay, I'm going to draw a tarot card, guys, see if I can't get a little bit more information. Maybe there's some additional information. Okay. Bear with me. Sorry, I dropped it. I'm not sure where. Dropped a couple of cards. I'm sorry. Bear with me. For group one, please. Who am I speaking about? I need some clarification, please. Oof. Okay, we got the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords. I heard mastery. Mastery. Okay. Whoever she was, whoever you were, okay, whoever you were, you are a master at this. You are a master at this. Okay. So, let's run it through it one more time. It was in Taos, New Mexico. That's in the southwest of the United States. She was a player of the keys. If that means something to you, please let me know. But I am going to look it up for you guys. I'm going to look it up and I will add that in. But when she did play her music, she spoke to the spirits and the spirit spoke back to her in the wind. And this is how, she was like a medicine woman. Yes? Whatever it was, she was a master at it. Absolutely mastered it. A woman of authority. A woman of great authority. A master of her skills. She was an artist, a master of it. She may have been, I'm hearing teacher. She taught others. She taught others how to do it. She was the mother. She taught others how to do it. The teacher. The teacher of this. She was a master of authority. Ooh, there are generations that have come after. Generations have come after. Still using the teachings of this woman. Still using her teachings. She mastered it. And she taught it. And she shared it. What can the watcher right now in this life learn from her? What can benefit their life now? sharing knowledge. Shy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what you know. Don't be afraid of what you know. Oh, I'm chilling from top to bottom, you guys. Don't be afraid of what you know. If this is you, don't be afraid of what you know. You are a teacher. You are a master of what you once did. Her lesson to you is, don't be afraid of what you know. Share what it is. Be as she was. Be as she was. Share what you know. Yes. See if there's anything else. Hearing anything else. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Share what you know. As she did. Wow, that was intense. My goodness. But this doesn't happen by accident. Okay? It doesn't happen by accident that you got Taos, New Mexico, and the Thunder Egg. That I was hearing that she is the player of keys. I'm going to have to look that up. I promise I will look that up for you guys. I'm going to have to look that up. I will find out what that means. Okay, that was intense. I'm going to leave it there for you guys. I'm sorry that was so very, very specific, but they had a very important message to share. Wow. Please let me know if that resonated for you. I'd love to know who you are. Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much. Love and light. Bye, guys. Hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the garnet. So let me explain for you, those of you who are new here. I am legally blind, and I have quite a few friends that are blind or visually impaired as well. So I will lay out the cards, and then I will run through them all so that everyone who cannot see them can hear what they are like and what they say, and then I will go back through and tell you the story that I am seeing, that I am hearing. I am already, I knew this was going to be a unique one when I shuffled the cards out. And a card that was in the wrong deck came flying out. And then doubles of some of the cards came out. I thought, this is going to be a unique one. And I'm not wrong. So, again, like Group 1, this is a very specific person. I can't go in any other direction, but I'll explain. So we'll start at the top here. And the location card, the sacred location card that you received is Machu Picchu. The next card that came out was the Metal King. Okay. Then you got the Seven of Forces. I'm sorry, is it the 7? Yes, the 7 of Forces. This is from, Balance. This is from the Akashic Records deck. And you got a second one, also from the Akashic Records deck. The 5 of Roses. Now keep in mind those numbers may mean something to you. And this is the Garden. I will come back to all of this when we've gone through them all. Next to that, you have the Sacred Union. Okay. And then finally, next on top of that, you got the Rescuer. And in the middle, from the past lives, you got Biblical. So, I'll start at the beginning. When I first pulled this out, the very first thing I heard was warrior. Warrior with the Metal King. After Machu Picchu, I got warrior. This person is definitely from South America, Central America, somewhere in there, that region, okay? They are a warrior of their people, okay? A member of the forces, a warrior of their people. They had a great love. I am talking about a gentleman here, okay? I can't help that. He came to talk to me. He was a great lover of his people. Also, very respected person. Someone who was a negotiator, okay? Not just a warrior, but a negotiator, okay? Sacred union. What he did was when the Spanish came. That's what I got from the biblical card. To save his people, to rescue them, the rescuer. He was the negotiator. Brought balance in order to save his people. He has some regret about that. Did I sacrifice them? Did I give up? This may be something that you feel in this life. That you have sacrificed yourself, you have sacrificed your own beliefs, you have sacrificed your own will, your own wants, your own needs for others. This may be, and it's what I'm feeling, this may be the karma that you have brought with you from this life. Okay? He was a negotiator, but he did it because he loved his community. He was a warrior, yes, but he lived balanced because he loved his people. He negotiated peace to save his people, to rescue them. I think there is some regret there, though. It didn't go as he thought it would. And there's some regret. And that regret is the karma that you have brought to this life. The thing that you need to work out. The one that you may see within yourself right now is that you give in too much to others instead of fighting and standing up for yourself more. You do it because you love. You do it because you give. Much like he did. But the karma that needs to be worked out for him is that you need to speak up and stand up for yourself more. That you need to be the one who stands up against, regardless of the outcome. Be brave and strong in knowing that you know what's best for you. And that you do not have to sacrifice everything you are for others, but what is right for you. He did what he thought was correct. He did. Because of his love of his people. He did what he thought was correct. He did. But his karma is his regret. His karma is his regret that he made a mistake. Although he did what he had to do at the time he knew. With what he knew. And he was believed with all his heart that he was rescuing his people from destruction. This is his karma. And this may be the one that you're carrying. That's what I'm told. That you're carrying as well. You'll need to This may be something that you do in your own life right now. You give up what you want for other people. You give up your beliefs, your strengths. You give your strength away. You give your strength away to help others. You think that you're doing what's right and balanced because you want to rescue everyone else, but you need to focus on rescuing yourself. This is what he had to do in that past life. This is what he had to do. This is the soul contract he signed. But it is not the burden that you need to be carrying in this life. This one you need to let go of. In this life, the lesson to learn is defense of yourself. Defense of yourself. Do not fold and give everything you have to everyone else. If you do that, you can work out his karma and put that to sleep, put that to rest forever. His choices are not yours, but you can learn from it. He was creating a union between two different worlds, but he had great regret for that he did not fight instead. But that does not have to be your regret. You give up too much. You give up too much to other people. And your past you is telling you, rescue yourself first. That's how you'll help him to work out his past karma. And that's how you will grow in this life, in the way that you are meant to in this life. That's the lesson you're to learn now. That's who he was. Someone who gave up. Someone who gave in. He sees himself as giving up. But truly, it was because of his love of his community that he wanted to rescue them. But it didn't work out. He doesn't want that for you. I think you have the same heart of wanting to give to everyone, wanting to give up yourself, parts of you, parts of what you believe, in order to save everyone else, but sometimes you just can't do it. And in this life, what he wants for you is to stand up and worry about you. That's the lesson. You see if there's anything else you'd like to say. When I come home again, I'll be whole. Oh, that's good. Yeah, if you do this, what he's asking, when you come home again, when I come home again, I will be whole. That's the message for you in this life. Stand up for you. It's always a good thing to help other people, but not at the sacrifice of yourself. Keep hearing the word sacrifice over and over and over and over again. Not at the sacrifice of you. Yeah. Okay, group 2, I'm going to leave it there. That was a lot. I knew it was going to be when I got all these cards in different ways and popping out from decks that weren't supposed to be in there. I knew that was going to be different. I hope that resonated for someone. I do. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel very blessed to have met you. Bye-bye. Hello, group 3. You chose the lapis lazuli globe, which perfectly fits this. Never ceases to amaze me. Never. So, let me explain first to those of you who are new. I am legally blind, visually impaired, and therefore I have a lot of friends who are as well. So the cards are already laid out. And what I will do is go through all of them and explain them what they are for those who can only hear and not see. And then I will tell you exactly what I'm hearing from this particular person. So the very first card you got was Troy. And Troy is, this is the sacred geography. Okay, so sacred places deck. So Troy, as in ancient Rome, ancient Italy. Okay. And the second card you got is from the Akashic Records. And I gotta bring it back here, guys. Sorry, I can't hardly see it. Is the Seven of Scrolls. And it's intricacies and industry. Seven of Scrolls. So scrolls is a sharing of information. Okay. The bringer of information is Archangel Michael. And so the scrolls as well is the bringer of information. So intricacies and industry. And then we have the Eagle King at the bottom. You see what that says, the big picture? And I'll tell you what I'm hearing in just a minute. And then you received Student. Student card. And this is from Wisdom Oracle. And then in the center from the Past Lives Oracle. I don't know if you can all see that, but it says Asia. There we go. It's very pretty. Okay. So I will tell you what I am seeing from this. The first thing that I heard was that this person was a traveler, but that they traveled around the world, sharing both information and knowledge. Okay. The Eagle King, big picture, saw everything, traveled around the world, far and wide. Okay. But Troy may have been something very specifically important at that time. Okay. So this is a soul that's very, 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 very old. Okay. Someone who was from a very, very long time ago. Okay. But that they came from Asia and they spread their knowledge around what would have been through the trade routes, right? Probably through the Silk Roads. And what they did was they were teacher to students, okay? They shared intricacies and industry, maybe even knowledge about, maybe you even shared knowledge about innovations, right? With those who needed to hear it, I suppose, or shared the knowledge that they had of building or economics or something like that. This was a very intelligent person who was highly regarded. And so their ability to go and travel as they did, okay, flying around the big picture, right, going everywhere, that they were able to share all of their knowledge, and they were able to do it with authority, okay, and that they, I think that they traded as well. They may have, yes, been lucrative this way, but this was not just about selling of goods, okay? This was about sharing of knowledge. So I think that this person probably would have been very much seen as an enlightened being, not just someone with mathematical intelligence or scientific intelligence or anything like that, but that they were also very spiritual, and that they were able to easily share that information with the world, and people listened. They had some kind of authority, probably because they were very successful. And they traveled quite a bit. Like this, I see them going back and forth and back and forth and around and around. So I think that this is something that they did most of their lives. Somehow Troy was significant time in their life. Maybe they settled there for quite a while. Maybe a lot of their teaching went on in Troy, sharing of knowledge of how building, of trade, of creating materials and merchandise and that sort of thing. And that's something that they shared along with their spiritual knowledge as well. That's what I see from this person. Let me see. What am I saying? What are you saying? Coins. I'm sorry, I'm hearing and seeing coins. So there was a lot of, there was a lot of gold involved in this. They were a very wealthy person in both finances, trade, and spirituality. What is the lesson, please? I hear confidence, mindfulness. Okay. I think that this person may have suffered at some point of ego. Ego is what I just heard that very loudly. Ego. So confidence and mindfulness balance, that this person maybe slipped into their ego at some point, knowing better from their religious teachings, knowing better than to do that, but they did. Is that something that you do in your life now? Do you slip into ego about are you centered on finances? Is that important to you? Is making money important to you? And what are you giving up by doing that? Are you focused too heavily on your ego and making money and being successful and having the next best thing? The most gold, the most silk, this is him, the most of everything, the most beautiful of everything, the smartest, the most knowledgeable. Slipping into ego too far is what he did. And is his recommendation, warning to you, don't do it. In this life, be careful of ego. Be careful of, when I speak of ego, I mean, it is the ego self that detaches us as far away from our enlightenment as we can possibly get. So if you are sitting within ego, okay, and I don't mean like, I'm so great and wonderful and I'm the most beautiful person on earth. I mean, you detach from your spirituality, from what spirit wants for you, because you are so in the depths of having a bigger house and a bigger car and being wealthy. And yes, abundance is very good and it is important to us and it is something that we deserve. But if we are giving into ego to get it, that's his warning to you. Do not give into ego to get. That is what he did. Pulled himself away from what he knew, away from what his teachings were, because it lifted his ego and made him detach from what the truth was, what he knew. Something about Troy during that time was very important to him. This is where the message is coming from. So if you are feeling this, please, this is his message to you. Do not fall too far into ego. Remember who you are in your essence, in your being, and the totality of who you are. I think that's all I'm hearing for this. Wow, that was intense. Very specific. Ooh, I hope that resonated for you. I would love to hear if it did. And please leave me a comment. I would love to hear that. Thank you so much for letting me do this for you. It was an honor to meet you. God bless. Bye-bye, guys. Hello, Group 4. You chose the Black Tourmaline Tower. And I am not surprised. Well, actually, I am surprised. Spirit never ceases to surprise me. But it makes perfect sense for your group. So, a little bit of a trigger warning, okay, about who this person is. Remember that this is not you now, okay? And that what we're asking, okay, what we're asking is what lesson you can learn from this previous life, okay? So this is a previous life, and we're asking for the lesson that you can learn from it and the karma that you can remove from yourself, from your past life, so that you can grow and in turn grow the universe. Now, for those of you who are new, I am legally blind, visually impaired, and so I have lots of friends who are as well. And so I always make my readings so that those who cannot see it can hear it. So the cards are already laid out, and what I'm going to do is run through them, and then I will tell you exactly what I'm seeing and hearing, okay? So we'll start at the very beginning. And the first card that came out is the Sacred Locations deck, okay? And so what you got was your own backyard, okay? It's a very unusual one. So you got your own backyard. It's the first card. Your second card. I'm sorry, I pulled an extra couple of tarot cards because I was a little bit confused. Well, not confused. I just wanted more information about this lady. I'm sorry. I have to sometimes bring the cards back because of my vision impairment. It's the Six of Forces, the waterfalls. Forces, of course, is talking about the elements. So, waterfalls. Then you got, at the bottom, the Lady of Lightning. And then you got, from the Wisdom deck, you got Bully. B-U-L-L-Y, Bully. And in the center is your past life card. You are a mother. I pulled 2 tarot cards because I wanted more information about who this lady was. And the first card that came out was the Sun in reverse. Excuse me. The World in reverse. The World in reverse. An uncompleted life. It came out in reverse, and I always ask when I receive reversals, is this correct? And I was told yes. And then you got the Six of Cups, again, in reverse. The Six of Cups talks very much about family history, okay? About, can talk about childhood, but it is the family card. Okay, and it is in reverse. You see the roots of the trees here? It talks about family foundations, and it's upright. In other words, it's been the roots, ripped up from the roots. So, what I'm seeing from this woman, that is, she was somewhere close to you, somewhere nearby. In your own backyard, I'm feeling very much that she was comes from where you are now, okay? Or near where you are now. Okay, remember, this is your past life, okay? I get that it was a more recent past life. I would say that it was in sometime within the 1900s, okay? So it's not as far back as the other groups went. Some of them went very far. The waterfalls. There's a lot of water here. Of course, with the cups, they're water signs. But I feel like who she was a force of nature, a very strong one, a very strong force of nature within this family. The cups, water, is always about love, family. This person was a force of nature when it came to her own family. Again, lightning, a force of nature. Lightning is very shocking, can be destructive. It's very forceful and uncontrolled. This is what I'm feeling and hearing, okay? And bully. I feel like she was a bully. I'm just going to say straight out that she was not Mother of the Year, okay? I'm not trying to trigger anyone here. This is just who I'm seeing. Remember, this is a past life experience. When we come back, when we sign our soul contracts to come back, we choose to be who we are. Of course you have free will. Of course you do. The Akashic Records, okay, which is what these cards are, have all of the information of what this life is going to be. And we sign up for that. So at some point, you would have signed up to be this woman. This does not mean that this is who you are now by any stretch of the imagination. This is not you now, okay? This is a past life. She was damaged, okay, is what I'm hearing. She was a product of her own upbringing. She was a difficult woman who was a force of nature, who bullied her family, who was probably that way with most everyone, who I feel an imbalance of, she may have had mental illness. This must be, yes. Okay. Being a mother is something that you know, people would have looked at her and said, she should have never been a mother. This was not for her. She should have never been a mother, but it was what she was meant to come here for, and it was what she was meant to do, and I'm sorry for that, because she had a great deal of effect on other human beings, but she was the hardest. It was the hardest on herself. This is not a loving woman by any stretch. I have the Six of Cups in reverse. Family was not something that she ever wanted. I think that is something she did because it was expected. Two Forces cards. She was a force of nature. She could completely envelop people and force them to her ways. She was a bully. And I think that not just with her own family, I think that's how she was with everyone. What is the message, please? Childhood trauma is the message. Childhood trauma is the message. Are you suffering from childhood traumas in this life? Something brought on you by others? Doesn't necessarily have to be a mother. Her message to you is, you are not the product. You are not the product of others. You are divinely created to be you and not what someone else is telling you you are. This is the message. She was the product of how she was brought up. She was the product of who she was told she was and who she was going to be. And she fully enveloped that. This was a life unfinished. Was it a shortened life? It was. Oh, my head hurts really badly. Why? I think that she was suffered for a very long time with some kind of mental illness. Probably both genetic and chemical imbalances. But her message to you is, if in this life, if this resonates for you, if in this life you are suffering from something that someone had done to you, as someone had done to her, and as in turn she did to someone else, that this is the life that you need to heal this. Her karma, your karma, long lineages of karma, this constant cycle has to stop, and this is her message to you. She does not want you to, in turn, one, have lived through someone doing this to you, but two, to continue the cycle. This is it. This is the message. Break the cycle. This is the cycle that you have to break. This is what she wishes for you. This is what she wishes someone had done for her. In doing so, in stopping this cycle, you will be doing that for her as well. You will be releasing her of her karma as well. This is what she wants for both you and for her, and for those who come after you. So if you are feeling that you have this sort of relationship, it doesn't have to be mother, it could be father, it could be anyone, okay? It could be anyone, could be current relationship. It's definitely family though, and there's no coincidence that it's the backyard, that this has to be hitting home for you, much as it did for her. Black tourmaline talks about shadows, talks about shadow work. This could very well be telling you what your shadow work is. In doing this, in releasing this karma for her and for you, in releasing this cycle, you elevate yourself, you elevate your soul, you elevate your being, and you grow yourself and the universe. This is her message to you. This is who she was. You don't have to be that. This is how she treated people. You don't have to take that. You can choose. You can. I know it's difficult. I know that. I get that. I promise you I do. But you can release this. Her karma, your karma. You may have had this happen to you and you have said the words, I will never be that to someone else. And that's great. That's what she wants. Release it for yourself and release it for her, and you both can release your karma and you both can grow, and give this up so it never has to come through in another lifetime again. She did the best she could, knowing what she knew, having the experience, having the understanding that she had. Suffering through mental illness is what I see and hear and feel. But if you can, and you may already be doing it, like I said, you may say, I will never ever be this to someone else. Then that's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's what she wants. That's what she wants for you and for her. This is going to clear out your shadow work and hers. And that's the message here. She was a force of nature. You may have suffered through that. She wants you to know you don't have to be. You don't have to suffer with it anymore. You don't have to hold it in. Let it go. Heal your karma. Heal yourself. You may have already done that, okay? There may be more than one person that this associates to. But because of the backyard card, I feel like this is something that just keeps hitting home over and over and over again in your own backyard. Just over and over again. This is a cycle that's gone on and on and on and on. And it's, to me, if you are drawn to this pile, if you are here today listening to this, you are the break. You are the one who's going to stop that cycle. However that looks for you. This is how it was for her. That's her message to you. I think that's wonderful. I'm sorry if that was hard to hear. But I think that if you're watching this and this is resonating for you, you know all of this. The universe wants only the best for you. And I think that you can recognize it, see it, and change it. I know you have it in you. I know you do. That's why you're being told this. That's why this is the lifetime that they chose to show to you. Because you are the key to this. And the universe has faith that you can make it happen. Because they love you. And they know that you're the one. Goodness. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for letting me do this for you. It was an honor to meet you. Love and light. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 5. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Labradorite. The Labradorite is said to hold within it all the knowledge of the universe, like a little Akashic records right in your hand. It's one of my favorite stones of all time. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. This is a sacred geography deck. And so what you got was Taormina. Taormina? I had to look it up, I'll be honest with you. I had never heard of it. But it's a little town in Sicily, Italy. Very interesting. I'll tell you a little bit about it in just a second. And then you got the King of Scrolls to the right. I'm sorry, let me stop because I told every other deck or pile and I didn't tell you. If you're new here, I am legally blind, visually impaired, and so I have a lot of friends who are as well. And so what I do is I lay out the cards and then I go through them one by one, explaining what they are so that those who cannot see it can hear it and participate as well. Okay, so that's why they're already laid out. So again, you have the King of Scrolls here to the right. At the bottom, you have the resting tree. And to the right, you have a queen. Very interesting. You have a king and a queen. And in the center, you have Atlantis. Now, before I started any of this, pulling these out, the very first thing I heard was destruction. The last of, the end of an empire. And that makes perfect sense with these cards. So, I had to read a little bit more about, well, I had to read about Taormina, is how I'm going to say it. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Somebody can tell me. But when I saw the king and the queen, and then I saw, before I saw Atlantis, when I saw the king and the queen, I heard, thought, and felt this was the end of a dynasty. Okay? This is very old. It's interesting. 3 of the 4 are very, very old. Or 4 of the 5 of these piles are very, very old. It's very interesting how Spirit has chosen to choose which lifetimes to go back to. So when I pulled out Atlantis, I thought, yes, okay, that's correct. This was the end of a dynasty. So very likely you were a part of this dynasty, whether you were the king or the queen. I can't tell you that because I'm not seeing it here. But this was definitely the end of a dynasty. Or it may just be that you lived under this king and queen. Okay, that was your life. The resting tree tells me, yes, this is the finish. This is the end of it. Now, Taormina, okay, is in Sicily. And Sicily changed hands many, many times. The Greeks, I think it was the Syrians. So it was Roman as well. It changed hands to the French in the 1600s, and then back again to the Sicilians, and then back to Rome and Italy. So it changed hands many, many times. It was ruled several times by different kings and queens, and that those dynasties were lost. Okay, so this is the time that I'm I'm seeing. Okay, so this is pre-Roman. I'm not sure of exact dates. I have not seen anything about that yet, but there is something, bear with me. Okay, I want to believe that this is Greek. Okay, that is where I'm going with this. That this was lost. A Greek royal family, royal lineage. Okay, that was lost. That the entirety of that civilization was a loss of a complete civilization. From reading about this city, there are many layers of civilizations built on top of each other. Okay, I believe that this is speaking of a Greek dynasty. Okay, that no longer exists. It was lost. The resting tree. This was its final location. Was in this town on the island of Sicily. And much like Atlantis, gone forever. So, whether you were... This can apply to a lot of you, because this could be that you were a person, a citizen underneath this king and queen. Because there's no specific king or queen, which one it is, it's very likely that you were a citizen who lived under the rule of this king and queen in this civilization that was lost. So that's very possible what had happened to you. Okay, that when this town, right, changed hands again from one group to another, it was lost. And I believe that this was the Greeks, and that the civilization under this king and queen, under this monarchy, was lost. Okay, that would be yeah, the end of this civilization. So it may very well be that you lived during that time, and that you lived underneath who they were. Let me see if there's a message here for this, please. Independence. Okay. I'm getting that really strongly. Independence. Independence on your own. Okay. Okay. What I'm hearing is independence. I'm feeling and hearing what they're asking for you is living a life of independence, separate from, okay, I think that maybe it may very well be that you lived very much by what this civilization, the king and queen told you to do. That's normal, right? That's what would have happened. But what your past life is telling you is to be independent of that. Be independent of that so that you don't lose everything. I think that you would have lost everything when this society crumbled, when this civilization was destroyed or usurped or blended, okay, into other conquerors. And what they're saying to you is, it is vastly important for you to be independent and not reliant on anyone. That is the karma that this person holds, this past version of yourself, is regret that they did not have the opportunity to be independent of their civilization that then was lost. That they had given everything that they had, everything up for their civilization, for their king and queen, for their monarchy, for their civilization, for their beliefs and their ways of life. And when it came crumbling down, they lost everything. And that is their regret. And that is the message that they want to send to you. Be independent. Be independent of your own thoughts, of your own way of life, of your own beliefs, and this king and queen can come in any form, okay? It can be a boss. It could be a parent. It could be a spouse. It could be a friend. This could be in any form. What they want for you in this life is for you to live your independence. To be as independent as you can be. This is the karma that they want you to work out for both them and you. This is what needs to be done. And you're the one to do it. If you are here and you are watching this, it is because the universe believes that you are the one that can work out this karma. By, within this lifetime right now, right here, right now, by living your life independent of any other outside influence. You live your life the way that you see fit. Because when you give yourself up to someone else, when you give yourself up, you put all of the power in somebody else's hands. That's when you lose the most, including yourself. This past life of you, this past person, it could have been anybody within this society. Could be multiples of yourselves here. Because they followed blindly their king and queen, then they lost everything. They're telling you not to do the same, but to be independent. Now is the time. This is your life. Do not crumble and be lost like Atlantis, like their king, like their queen, like their civilization, like their whole world, like everything that they had, everything that they did for their king and queen. And they gave up everything for them, and they lost everything. And that what they want you to know is now is the time to put it to rest. Now is the time to stop it. You can do that in this life. You can heal their karma and you can heal yours. And you can both grow. Let me see if there's anything else they'd like to tell you. Is there any other message? Be wholly independent. Be independent not just in your thoughts, but in your body and in your world and in your living arrangements and in everything that you do. Be independent of yourself. Do not carry that old karma that they had carried. Do not carry that old way of thinking that they had carried. You probably have seen yourself do it. They want you to give it up. They want you to stop and not repeat the cycle of that. Apparently, this has been going on for a very long time in your lives. If you can recognize in yourself that you're giving up parts of yourself wholly and completely, Okay, we're not talking about sharing your life with someone or sharing your thoughts or giving someone, bread to eat. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you are solely giving yourself up. That's what this person did. They gave up everything, their thoughts, their beliefs, their money, their home, probably their children, everything to these two people and lost every last bit of it. When it all came crumbling down, that's their message to you. Don't do it. Don't do what they did. Recognize it in yourself. Recognize that that's an old wound, and that karma needs to be released. That's what they want you to do. They want you to put an end to it. You're the one to do it. If you are sitting here listening to this, they are talking to you. They are telling you you're the one to do it. That's amazing. How old this is. It's amazing to me. Okay, I want to check one more time to see if there's anything else. No, that's it. Yes. All right. This is probably only going to apply to a couple of you, but I want you to say your body is yours and only yours and no one else's. That might not apply to everybody, but that's what I heard, so I had to say it. I think that they may have been giving themselves up as they see it, body, mind, and soul, and they regret it. They want you not to do that for yourself. You're the one to break this karma. I think that's wonderful. Ooh. This has been a very interesting ride doing this. I have never done this sort of past lives type stretch of readings. It's very unusual. All of them were very, very different. I hope that this resonated for you. Please let me know if it did or if you have any questions. Thank you so much for coming, and it was an honor to meet you, all of you. I hope I see you next time. Bye, guys.